Hello, everyone. I'm City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. Coming up on this show, the Arts District continues to flourish in downtown Las Vegas by encouraging creativity and community. And the 20th Annual Las Vegas Book Festival, held in downtown Las Vegas, wraps up another successful event. Here to talk about this and a whole lot more is the councilwoman who represents Ward 3. It's Olivia Diaz. Welcome back to the program. How are you?
We're doing well, David.
Happy fall. It's
Happy
here.
Fall. We've all been looking forward to this cooler weather for a really long time. So I hope everyone's enjoying the benevolent climate. And we've even gotten a little bit of rain.
Yeah,
so
I know,
that's
a little
awesome.
of everything. So, but we are now in the month of November. It's hard to believe, and we have a lot going on. We're going to talk a lot about that.
I feel time is just flying.
I know.
We're going to be talking Christmas before you and I know it.
Exactly, exactly. Well, you know Ward 3 like the back of your hand, born and raised there. And for those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 3 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you right here on the map. It's basically the east side of the city of Las Vegas, there in the blue. It encompasses a lot of our downtown, which we're going to talk about today. And of course, if you live in that area or work in that area, you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And of course, again, if you're a resident there, you're represented on the city council by Olivia Diaz. You're an old veteran of the city council all of a sudden now, so.
It's hard to believe that 2 and change has already lapsed, right, from the time I got elected.
You're not a newbie anymore.
I'm not a newbie. It's a good thing.
That's right.
It's a good thing not to be a newbie. I feel like I understand my role better, and I'm on all these boards trying to make a difference every day for the residents.
Yeah, well, you do. And I know one of the things you're very proud of is the fact that so many of the cool amenities we have in the downtown are in Ward 3. You share that with Councilman Creer. The downtown, part of it is in Ward 5, part of it is in Ward 3. Everything south of Fremont is in Ward 3. And you posted this on Facebook. This is a great event that we love to have every year. You said, "Today I attended the Las Vegas Book Festival in downtown Las Vegas. I was honored to present Sandra Cisneros with a proclamation for her role in the NEA Big Read."
So we hosted it at our historic 5th Street School. For those of you that don't know, it's the oldest elementary school in Las Vegas. And, you know, as a teacher, I love to emphasize, you know, the importance of reading, not just for school or as a chore, but really for your own personal just hobby and looking into things that you're interested in and reading authors that take you other places than your day-to-day routines. And so I hope that we continue this awesome event in many years to come. It was the 20th iteration of the book festival, and we had Sandra Cisneros as the author that we highlighted through the events in September through the culminating event, which is the book festival. She gave amazing advice and inspiration to the attendees we got to see her virtually. And she too said that, you know, writing for her is almost therapeutic.
Yeah.
It helps her kind of work through things. I think reading is one of those things too.
I agree.
That it helps us take a load off, put things kind of on the back burner, and just kind of, you know, transport ourselves to another place.
Because a book can take you literally anywhere. In the theater of your
We don't
mind,
always
right?
have the resources or the time to travel, but you can do that just by opening a good book, or you can live vicariously through the characters.
Exactly. And I agree with you. The book festival helps inspire people to enjoy reading versus it's an obligation. I got to read my assignments at school. I got to read
most of us
this.
know we've been through that in school, and
right.
a lot of us are like, but why do I have to read? So increasingly with our young kids that are born almost with the device in their hand, right?
Yeah.
And so I just hope that we never lose that sense of just picking up and curling up with a good book.
I agree. And the book festival helps keep that going. No question about it. Also in the downtown area that we're very proud of is the 18B Arts District, and you posted this on Facebook. You said, "Today, the Las Vegas City Council and I shared the honor of recognizing 18B Las Vegas Arts District members for the tremendous leadership they demonstrated in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic." This was a very fitting honor, and in fact, we're going to have the president of that organization on with us in just a little bit in this program. But that was a rough go, and these are a lot of small businesses trying to survive through a global pandemic.
They are, and they've helped us, you know, get through some tough parts. I really wanted to highlight and emphasize that, you know, organizations like them really help us as a city as well, because they're helping each other. and they're helping us see ways that we can stay the course together through these kinds of exercises like a pandemic. None of us ever knew we were going to be hurled to face that, but they knew that through the closures as small business owners who had invested a lot of their blood, sweat, and tears and money, that they wanted to keep everything as good as could be. And we didn't know what the shutdown was going to
or how long it would last
to our small businesses. And so I love that they stepped up and they gave us ideas about when they had to close, how could we add art to the exteriors of it. And it became a bright spot through this pandemic. A lot of people did bike riding around there and made it a point to go walk outside during the shutdown. And so I just think, we need to look to folks like the 18B who they themselves coordinated base camp where they would keep each other informed of the activity and they themselves patrol the area. Obviously never putting themselves in harm's way, but reporting things back to us, back to the marshals.
Because the businesses were all closed. Yeah, their businesses were shut down.
Back to Metro. So they were that, they were the extra presence of keeping an eye out for one another. And then they also told us, hey, could we have curbside pickup? Because so many of us are so dependent on people coming in, foot traffic. So how can we stay alive? So I'm very grateful because I think that they really helped people stay in business and kind of endure this hard patch here that we all
I completely
survived.
agree. And I think Councilwoman too was so impressive about all that too, is so many of the businesses in that area were new. And so they had just started and then the pandemic came. So there was that question, well, are they going to be able to survive being that they're so new?
Yes,
But
absolutely.
Most
so
of them have.
hats off to 18B and may you still continue the work and stay united and helping every new business that comes and joins you.
Here, and if you haven't checked out the Arts District, it's the area basically Maine, south of Charleston. Check it out. A lot of great places to eat, great things to see. It's a wonderful part of town. It's really
18B stands for 18 blocks.
Yeah.
So, in the Arts District.
Yeah. So it's a happening place.
And Abby will tell us more.
Stay
tuned.
Exactly. She's going to be on in just a little bit here on this program. Councilwoman, it's fall, as we were talking about. It's flu season, and you and the governor setting an example about flu shots. Look at you. Rolling up the sleeve, literally.
As a school teacher that taught elementary kids, we know that we need to stay protected through this season. And so ever since I think I had my son and I took him to the pediatrician, she always recommended that we get our flu shot. And being a good mom and role model, I always had to step up, get my shot before I gave it to my son.
See what I'm doing? Yeah, right.
But you're always constantly exposed as an educator to all the things that children bring into the classroom. And so if we want to stay healthy, we need to do our part. And so that's why I joined the governor, because I'm used to getting my flu shot and doing my part to stay healthy. We see a lot of people day in and day out. And obviously, we're still wearing masks and we're still following the protocol, but a shot is always helpful in stemming and guarding away from getting sick. It's never a fun thing to have to miss work because you have the flu.
Exactly, and it's never fun to have the flu, by the way. So you guys are at a Smith's over in your ward, right?
Yes, it's Smith's on Pecos and Bonanza. That's Joy. She has an amazing hand. Didn't even feel.
See, didn't feel a thing.
Didn't feel a thing. After your COVID shot, flu shot is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. Do it.
No symptoms. It was just like, boom, got it. No downtime.
Yeah. And you know what? You haven't had the flu either.
I haven't.
See, it's working.
It is. So far, so good.
And I got mine as well. So it worked out very well all the way around. And then, Councilwoman, speaking of health, you posted this on Facebook. You said, we kicked off the Binational Health Fair and Family Fiesta by recognizing the tireless efforts by Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, City of Las Vegas staff, REACH, and the Southern Nevada Health District to keep our residents safe and healthy through community-based COVID-19 vaccination campaigns. And very important. Health is on everyone's mind, especially through this pandemic. You can't help but think about it.
I love that we've had this partnership with REACH and the Mexican Consul's office for 21 years now, offering this binational health fair for underserved communities that sometimes don't have access to health screenings or medical services. And so they bring the providers. And it was awesome to see Mi Familia Vota recognize our firefighters as one of the premier deliverers of COVID-19 vaccinations. We went to the community. We did it in extreme weather. It didn't matter that it was the summer, June, July. We just, went to the supermarkets, we went to the schools, we went to the churches, we went to wherever we had an open door to administer the shots. And then also our Southern Nevada Health District nurses haven't stopped, from testing to COVID vaccinations to the next phase. And so I think we need to take a moment and acknowledge all the hard work of all these folks and give them all the praise and kudos.
I agree. And, it made a big difference, because I know you were telling me that at these different community events, some people who were on the fence about getting the vaccination were like, well, they're here, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's just convenient, I'm just going to go ahead.
Absolutely. And when people are warm and friendly and make you feel like you're doing the right thing, I think it's even better. And I think our city team that carried out these pop-ups had that genuine compassion and care and made all the difference.
Yeah. So good
you.
Work by them, and kudos to you for recognizing them. And then we also had a great event. This took place the first Tuesday in October. You posted on Facebook, thank you NEAC and DTAC, that stands for Downtown Area Command, for hosting great National Night Out events tonight. It was wonderful to see so many families enjoying the live music, children's activities, and learning about important community resources. And this is a great way for the police, first responders, and the community all to get together and kind of get to know each other a little bit better.
Absolutely. Right there, one of the gentlemen on the horse is Eric Jimenez. He's a Northeast Area Command officer, but he was partaking, I think, more as a constituent that day in festivities. And so it was good to be able to make the rounds and thank our law enforcement officers for all the work they do day in and day out, and hopefully create a stronger bond between community and law enforcement, because they really are called when we're under duress and stress, and sometimes it's not the most easy situations for them to encounter community. But I think that events like National Night Out foster a stronger relationship and some trust with our law enforcement.
You build that relationship with the first responders outside of a traumatic situation.
And so I want to thank Northeast Area Command and DTAC for carrying out their awesome events. I got to actually interact with some constituents at their events, and I want to also thank Chief Molina and all the marshals for making it out to the Downtown Area Command, because we want to do our part and support law enforcement as much as we can in the way that marshals can as well.
If you're thinking, well, isn't National Night Out in August? Well, it is mostly across the country, but here in Las Vegas and in places like Arizona, Texas, it's pretty hot in August.
Hot.
So we do it in October.
So we have to modify our date to fit our climate.
But we still do it. See,
it was still warm that day.
I know. October was still warm. We had some hot days in October, so hence the reason we delay it a couple of months every year. So
absolutely.
And then, Councilwoman, we love the spirit of volunteerism that's in your ward. We're going to talk about that. You had a beautification. This was at the Cedar Beautification neighborhood cleanup that took place. This was back on October 2nd. And just love when volunteers, look at all those folks that came out, rolled up their sleeves, literally, and went to work just to make their community look better.
Look better. So a little bit about the efforts on the day. It's part of our neighborhood beautification pilot project that we're doing in Ward 3. We were able to partner with Office of Community Services and other volunteer groups to come and pick up trash, paint the curbs red for no parking where there's not supposed to be any. We touched up some of the fire hydrants in the neighborhood, and sometimes there's a lot of years that go by and we don't have enough staff to be keeping up all of these elements. And so when we get all of you to pitch in and help us, we just help that community look its best for a little bit. And we also had some big trash dumpsters, bins that were placed throughout the community. People were able to then also take a lot of things that are sometimes lingering.
Too big to drag out to the curb by yourself. We can help you and get it into a big dumpster so you can get rid of it then.
Absolutely.
So, in older neighborhoods, that's an issue. You know, it's like it's tough to, because you live in a place a long time.
Yes, you hold on to things. Hopefully the pandemic has helped us identify things we don't need on a regular basis and just let them go. Because I know that I'm guilty of that at times. So
same here.
Know that it's a work in progress, but you got to release some things for new things to come in.
Right, exactly. And Councilwoman, since you've been on the show last, we've had some big holidays. We had Halloween and we had El Dia de los Muertos. Big festival this year, bigger than we've ever done, which is pretty cool. So tell everybody about that.
Well, we have a really great event that happens at Sammy Davis Festival Plaza. I don't want to diminish that event, but we had some folks who wanted to do something more authentic, more to their liking, and so we said, why not offer more of these experiences out of Gary Reese Freedom Park with Yo Soy 132 and migrant community orgs, and so we're just super elated that they came together with us to offer an amazing event where we had Aztec dancers, we had folkloric dancing, sugar skulls, ofrendas, altares, all these, staples and traditions of Dia de los Muertos.
Over 2 nights too, which is really cool. You didn't have to just go on the first, you could go
All
on the
Saints
second.
Day on the first, and then Dia de los Muertos on the second.
Awesome, that's really great. So I think I see a new tradition coming for Gary Reese Freedom Park now. It's because once you start, I think that's going to be hard to not do again. And then Councilwoman, Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and we really want to make sure that Ward 3 residents, especially the seniors out there, want to make sure this message is for you.
Absolutely. So please join us on Thursday, November 18th from noon to 2 p.m. at East Las Vegas Community Center. We couldn't host much of our senior meals last year because of the pandemic and being mindful of your health and safety and well-being. But we know that we love to get together with you and love to shower you with love and yummy food. So please register. We are looking for Ward 3 seniors who live in our ward. Those would be a majority of zip codes 89101, 89104, 89110. You saw the QR code, so try to snap it there so you can register or call my office at the number listed.
Yeah, and we just would love to have you RSVP. That'll really help figure out how much food.
We need to know how much food so that and then also we don't want to, we're still being mindful of COVID. We don't want to,
spreading out.
We want to spread people out and make sure people feel comfortable when you're having your meal as well.
Exactly. And then Councilwoman, we were talking about volunteer opportunities. Get Outdoors Nevada, a wonderful organization, has a couple of cleanups coming up in your ward, November 13th and December 4th.
So save the dates. If you are looking for helping out in the community and the weather is much more benevolent than during the summer heat, sign up for those 2 cleanups to come help us out and make our ward beautiful and enjoyable by everybody who's using our trail system.
For sure. And you get to know a lot about Get Outdoors Nevada, a wonderful organization that has all kinds of resources about getting out and enjoying Nevada. It's the name, right?
Yes, so we want to make sure that we're all enjoying our open spaces and enjoying the outdoors and keeping them beautiful and clean as much as possible. And Get Outdoors Nevada is that organization that helps us ensure that we're doing that proactively in our community. Yeah,
we've had Almendra Johnson on the program in the past couple times, and a great organization, great partner with the city. So. Well, Councilwoman, we need to take a short break, but when we return, as you heard, the Arts District received special recognition for its creative efforts during the pandemic. We're going to talk to the president right after this.
¿Qué tan preparada estaría tu familia si un incendio forestal llamara a tu puerta? O una inundación, o un temblor. No puedes desaparecer un desastre natural. Por eso es importante ir ahora a listo.gov. Tiene las herramientas y consejos que necesitas para hacer un plan de emergencia con tu familia. Así que si el desastre llama, estarás listo para proteger a tu familia.
Ah, es solo la pizza. Sí.
Haz un plan hoy.
Había un niño que era muy sensible a luces y sonidos. Construía escondites donde no podían entrar. No le gustaba mirar a la gente a los ojos. Lo hacía sentir incómodo. Un día se descubrió que tenía autismo. Con ayuda, poco a poco, aprendió a vivir mejor con ello.
Mientras más pronto se diagnostique, mejor. Conoce las señales en autismspeaks.org.
¡Sí puedo!
Creemos en ti.
Todos los días, millones de personas celebran su recuperación de las adicciones y los desórdenes mentales, mientras otras empiezan su viaje. Sé parte de ello. Comparte tu historia. Únete a las voces de la recuperación. Juntos, somos mucho más fuertes. Para información gratis y confidencial y remisión o tratamiento por trastornos mentales y uso de sustancias, llama al 1-800-662-4357.
Welcome back, everyone. The 18B Las Vegas Arts District near West Charleston is home to art-related galleries, boutiques, stores, bars, restaurants, restaurants and much more. And there's a great vibe if you haven't been down there at all. Monthly First Friday events bring tens of thousands of visitors to the area. And with us today is Abby Stroot, the owner of Pincushion and the president of the Arts District Association. She joins us to discuss how the Arts District has continued to thrive even during this thing called a global pandemic. Abby, it's a pleasure to have you here. I know Councilwoman is so proud of everything that you guys have been able to do and to keep the train on the track through some really difficult months.
Absolutely. I'm very, very well honored to be their elected representative on the city council, but even more impressed with their resiliency through the pandemic and how they helped us as a city help them through a really tough time. And they just banded together and created base camp. We're looking out for one another. We know that at times, things were challenging. There were some break-ins into some properties, but they were able to kind of turn that around. Yep. and make sure that Metro was informed. We were informed, marshals, and I just love that they also helped us be flexible with their different delivery models, like in terms of business, right? If people weren't able to come through the door, how else could we afford them the ability to continue to do business? So Abby, welcome to the show. And how does it feel to be president of such an awesome neighborhood organization?
It feels good. I actually joke all the time with Derek Stonebarger, the previous president, of what a year for him to leave, because I became president just before 2020. But no, I love it. We are definitely such a tight-knit community and kind of a family. So it's so great to be leading such a great group of small businesses and residents and just people passionate about the area. So it's amazing.
Abby, I have to ask you, what do you think is the secret? Because that area of town for a time, as Councilwoman Wells knows, was an area that was kind of forgotten or even written off by many. Now it is the hip, cool place to be. What do you think brought about that dramatic turnaround?
I think it's a lot of things. I think that, I remember when I moved here 9 years ago, it was definitely not the best place to be. But I think just with the business owners that had been down there for years, sort of banding together and trying to bring in some new businesses and just sort of this younger, hipper crowd, kind of like you said, just looking for a place to go. I think that as locals, we're always looking for something that's not the Strip to do. So I think that local energy is sort of cultivating a passion around arts and small business and just community, I think is really what fired up the area.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that you really were fortunate in people like yourself. You mentioned Derek Stonebarger. You mentioned so many others that
Becky Miller have been pioneers.
Exactly. And all the restaurateurs and bar owners and artists that it was like the perfect storm of people all coming together to create this wonderful area of Las Vegas. And as we said, Abby, it's now the place where everybody flocks to go.
Yep. And I think our brewery row has also been very successful in attracting different investment in the arts district, but we don't want to lose that art emphasis and focus, right? Because we feel like it started with that art and synergy, and we want to keep that. What do you think, Abby, about continuing to keep the artistic element and presence in the arts district?
Yeah, I think that's something we're really pushing for right now, and with the brewery row that came about, I know a lot of the businesses, the breweries, the shops and everything are connecting with local artists to feature them on their walls. Rebar is the first thing that sort of comes to mind, but he has a rotating wall, or not an actual rotating wall, but a wall that rotates artists every month or every couple of months, and it just gives a chance for businesses to work with the artists to give them another opportunity to showcase. We also have First Friday, which is such a huge art showcase, and then Preview Thursday, which happens right before that, gives all of the galleries an opportunity to showcase. And I think that a lot of businesses are opening up their walls for murals, which is beautiful. I mean, everybody remembers our amazing walk of murals during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of blown up and expanded into covering full walls, and it's just beautiful to see it all come together.
It is. It's exciting, especially those of us who've lived here a long time. To see it transform is really inspiring. Abby, we're running short on time, but tell us something. Tell us a secret about the Arts District that we should know that we probably don't know.
Oh no. I think the thing I love about the Arts District that I always try to tell people is like take a chance to walk around. Like I said, there's some beautiful murals down there, and sometimes they rotate all the time. Artists sort of kind of work together on different walls. Just visit the businesses. There's all kinds of hidden gems. Brewery Row is great if you're super into the artistic beers and things like that. We just there's something for everybody, and I think that people forget that it's a small community, but there is something there for everybody.
I think that's well done, Abby. I couldn't agree more. I think you're spot on. I agree. There is something for everybody there, and I know, and it's in your ward. How about that?
Yes, I'm so excited. We've had new restaurants come in. Yeah. We've had vintage shops and arts offerings, and for art shops, I see more and more dessert offerings kind of popping up as well, and so couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for 18B. And then I know it's going to be a little bit of pain, but we are also making a concerted effort as a city to invest in the infrastructure and upgrade and update to make sure that businesses thrive and are successful long term.
Just because it just builds that, it gets that momentum going.
Yep.
So.
The walkability, the sewer, the
everything.
Hopefully the cable running through there in terms of internet speeds hopefully will be updated as we open up the streets, and so I'm just hoping that it's a win-win for everyone down the road.
We're on it. We're working on it. Well, Abby, it's a pleasure. We're about out of time here, but thank you so much for being on the program. We look forward to having you back in the future, and continued success and good luck to everyone in the 18B Arts District. It is a great place, and folks, if you've not visited, you need to.
Yes.
You're really going to enjoy it.
I think a lot of people's socks are going to be blown off if you haven't been in a decade. You will be like, whoa, this is completely transformed.
Exactly, and like Abby said, there's something for everyone. So. Well, folks, we always want to hear from you, so if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Diaz, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You can also contact her just by picking up the phone. We do that around here, 702-229-4623, or you can send her an email. Her address is odiaz@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get right back to you. So, Councilwoman, great job. We'll have you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 3.
It'll be around Christmas already.
I know, it'll be holiday time, so looking forward.
Love that time of year. So stay safe, everyone, and enjoy the fall as long as we have it before winter hits.
That's right. So, well, very good. And folks, don't miss our next show beginning on November 11th with Mayor Pro Tem and Ward 4 City Councilman Stavros Anthony. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code at the end of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.